It's amazing how fast things move, isn't it? I mean, just a little while ago, if you wanted a website, even a simple one, you were probably looking at learning code.
Oh, absolutely. It was a significant barrier.
But now, this whole idea of vibe coding, just kind of describing your vision and having an AI build it, it feels like it's actually becoming practical for everyone, really.
It really is. The focus is shifting, isn't it? Less about mastering syntax, more about clearly communicating your idea, making that translation accessible.
And that brings us right to today's topic, Lovable 2.0. We're doing a deep dive here. We've got their official blog post announcing all the changes, the new features.
Right, the roadmap.
And we also checked out a YouTube video, which was super helpful. Someone actually using it to build a personal site from scratch.
Yeah, seeing it in action is always good.
So our mission today is pretty clear. Unpack these Lovable 2.0 updates and figure out what they actually mean for you, especially if you've had that thought, I have this cool app idea, but the tech side, oof.
Exactly. Let's see how they're trying to lower that hurdle, make it smoother to get from just an idea to, well, a real thing you can use.
Okay, let's jump in. First up, they mention a new brand, a new look and feel. Cleaner, bolder UI. What's the thinking there, usually?
Well, often it's about reducing clutter, making it feel less intimidating, maybe more empowering. If the tool looks good and feels intuitive, you're maybe more likely to feel capable using it.
Right, less like you're fighting the interface and more like it's helping you create. Makes sense.
Especially for people new to this kind of tool. First impressions matter.
Okay, now on to something that feels pretty substantial. Multiplayer and workspaces. Collaboration seems like a big theme here.
Huge. This is where things get interesting for teams, or even just working with, say, a friend or a co-founder. They've introduced these workspaces.
Right, and there are different levels, like the Pro plan.
Yeah, the Pro subscription lets you have your personal workspace, but you can invite, I think it's up to 2 collaborators per project, and they use your credits. Good for small teams or bringing in specific expertise.
Okay, and then there's the Teams plan. That sounds more geared towards, well, actual teams.
Exactly. Up to 20 users in one shared space. You've
Right.
got owners, admins, editors, different roles, basically, and everyone shares a pool of credits. That setup works for startups, agencies, maybe even departments in bigger companies.
So how does this change the actual process of building? That YouTube video touched on this, didn't it?
It did. The host was working with their video editor simultaneously. Imagine that collaborative vibe coding. You could have a designer tweaking visuals while someone else is sorting out the logic or content.
Huh. So it moves from being this isolated task to something more fluid, more interactive.
Potentially, yeah. Less
Huh.
handing things off, more building together in real time. That could really speed things up and maybe lead to better results, with instant feedback loops.
That's a fascinating shift. Okay, another major update. The chat mode agent. This sounds like more than just telling the AI what code to write.
It is. It's pitched as more of an intelligent assistant for planning and debugging. The key difference is it helps you think things through without immediately changing your code.
So it's like a consultant AI. They use the term agentic, saying it can reason across multiple steps, look through files, check logs, even query databases. That sounds pretty sophisticated.
Yeah, agentic basically means it can take some initiative, figure things out. For instance, instead of you needing to know exactly which file controls the header, you could just ask the agent about the header, and it could figure out which files are relevant.
Okay, I see. So it sort of abstracts away some of the technical digging you might otherwise have to do.
Precisely. It can help you understand your project structure or figure out why something isn't working without you needing to be a code detective yourself. Especially helpful if you're just learning.
And the video review really emphasized this point. You can ask questions, explore what ifs, figure out error messages, all without worrying you'll accidentally break something.
Which is huge for building confidence. You can poke around, understand things better, then decide on the change. The recommended workflow seemed to be: use chat mode for clarity, get aligned, then turn it off, and let Lovable make the code changes.
Like having a planning session with the AI before committing. Smart. Okay, planning's covered. What about security? That's always a concern, especially with generated code.
Good point. They've added a security scan feature.
Yeah.
This is a really welcome addition, I think.
How does it work? Is it automatic?
It seems pretty straightforward. When you go to publish your project, if you've connected to Supabase, we'll get to that later, it offers to run scan.
And Supabase is like the back end, the database part.
Yeah, essentially. So if you're using that, the scan checks for common security vulnerabilities in how your app interacts with the data. The video showed it running on a simple site, and it came back clean. No issues found.
That's reassuring. It might not catch everything, obviously, but having a basic check integrated, that feels important, especially for beginners who might not even know what to look for.
Exactly. It's an early step, as they say, but it's about building security into the vibe coding process, not just leaving it as an afterthought.
Yeah.
Addresses a potential blind spot.
Now, they also mentioned dev mode. Is that new? I thought that was already there.
You're right. It's not brand new with
Yeah.
2.0, but they highlighted it again. It's the option for people who do want to dive into the actual code.
Ah, okay. So it's like we have these easy AI tools, but if you want direct control, the code editor is still here.
Precisely. It caters to that spectrum of users, from pure vibe coders to those who might want to tweak the generated code themselves.
Got it. But for those who want to stay out of the code but still make quick visual changes, there are the visual edits.
Yes, this looks incredibly useful. There's an edit button in the chat, and it lets you click on elements on your page, like a button or text or a section, and change styling directly.
Without prompts, without using AI credit.
Exactly. No prompts, no credits used for this. The YouTube video showed changing a header's background color, adjusting font sizes, changing the text itself. Just click and adjust.
That seems perfect for those little tweaks, like make that button slightly rounder or change this word. Stuff where writing a whole prompt feels like overkill.
Totally. It gives you that instant visual feedback for styling adjustments. Much more efficient for targeted design changes. WYSI, YYG, basically what you see is what you get.
Nice. Okay, so you've built something, you've tweaked it visually. Now you want it live on your own domain name. They've integrated custom domains now too.
They have. You can apparently buy and connect custom domains right within Lovable. That streamlines things quite a bit.
Removes a step that can be kind of fiddly, dealing with domain registrars and DNS settings.
Right. They mentioned something like over 10,000 domains already connected, so clearly people wanted this. The video showed connecting a domain via a partner called Entry, adding the DNS records.
And DNS records are like the internet's address book, pointing your domain name to lovable servers.
Pretty much, yeah. The video did note correctly that those changes can take a little while to spread across the internet, DNS propagation, that's normal. But having the process integrated is a big plus.
Definitely makes it feel more like a one-stop shop. Okay, let's quickly touch on pricing. Any major shifts?
They've simplified, it seems like. Two main plans now, Pro and Teams. Pro starts around $25 a month. Seems good for individuals or very small projects.
And Teams.
Teams starts around $30 a month and includes those shared workspaces we talked about earlier. Seems designed for, well, teams needing that collaborative environment and shared credit pool.
Seems straightforward enough. Okay, couple more integrations to cover. GitHub essential for developers, right?
Absolutely essential for version control, saving your work, rolling back changes if needed. The integration lets you connect your Lovable project directly to a GitHub repository.
So your vibe-coded project gets proper version control. That's important for anything serious.
Definitely. Peace of mind and enables more complex workflows if needed. The video showed the connection process seems smooth.
And then there's something called the knowledge section or system prompt. What's that about?
Think of it as a place to give the AI standing instructions for your project. Like if you always wanted to use a certain tone or avoid specific libraries or follow particular design guidelines, you put that in the knowledge section.
So you don't have to repeat yourself in every single chat prompt.
Exactly. The YouTube reviewer suggested putting frequently repeated instructions there. It helps the AI understand your project's specific context and preferences over time, kind of like training your AI assistant.
Makes sense. And finally, soup-based integration. We mentioned it regarding the security scan. What else does it enable?
Supabase provides back-end services, databases, user authentication, things like that. Integrating it easily means you can add user logins, save data, build more dynamic applications without having to manually set up a separate backend.
So it powers the more complex features beyond just a static web page.
Right. The video walked through creating a Supabase project and linking it. It simplifies adding that necessary complexity when your app needs it and enables that security scan, as we said.
Okay, wow. That was a lot of updates in 2.0. So boiling it all down, what are the main takeaways for someone listening, maybe someone who's curious but hesitant about building something?
I think for that learner, Lovable 2.0 is really about speed, collaboration, and confidence. Faster development through better AI interaction and visual edits, easier collaboration with workspaces.
And more confidence through things like the security scan and being able to ask the chat agent questions without breaking things.
Exactly. Those aha moments, like figuring something out with the agent or quickly changing a color visually, they can be really motivating. It feels like they're trying hard to reduce that initial overwhelm, offering a more guided path.
Less information overload, more intuitive building.
That seems to be the goal, yes.
So overall, a pretty significant evolution for Lovable. It's pushing further into making app and web creation accessible, but also adding layers for collaboration and security consciousness.
Agreed. It's lowering technical barriers while trying to provide the guardrails and tools needed for more robust projects.
So if you've got that app idea, that website concept you've been putting off because the tech felt too daunting, maybe something like Lovable 2.0 is worth a look now. Could be the nudge you need.
It could be. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Thinking bigger picture. Could platforms like this fundamentally change how digital products get made, especially for individuals, for small teams, empowering creation without needing to be a coding expert?
That's definitely something to chew on. Are we seeing a real shift in who gets to build the future online? Interesting times.